Have you ever noticed something strange during times of high inflation? The price of many products doesn't go up right away, but the product itself gets smaller, or you get less of it. For example, a sandwich that used to cost $7 was packed with meat. A while later, the sandwich is still $7, but there's noticeably less meat inside. This phenomenon is called shrink. What's interesting is that during many periods of inflation, shrinkflation often happens first, and prices only increase sharply later. This isn't a coincidence. It's a fairly common rule in economics and marketing. There are four main reasons why this happens. First, shrinkflation is a psychological buffer before a price hike. Consumers often react strongly to price increases, but pay less attention to decreases in quantity. If that sandwich went from $7 to $8, many people would immediately feel it's more expensive. But if it stays at $7 with just a bit less meat, many won't notice right away. That's why many companies use a two-step strategy. First, reduce the product quantity, and second, raise the price. This helps them avoid shocking their customers. Second, businesses aren't sure how long inflation will last. When raw material costs rise, companies don't know if it's a temporary fluctuation or a long-term trend. If they raise prices immediately, but costs fall a few months later, it's very difficult to lower the price back down. So many choose a more flexible solution: reduce the product quantity first. Third, changing the selling price actually has a huge cost. In economics, there's a concept called menu costs. These are the expenses incurred when a business changes its prices, like printing new price lists, changing product packaging, updating sales systems, and renegotiating with retailers. For large food companies, changing prices can affect millions of products. So they often delay price hikes and use shrinkflation as a temporary fix. Fourth, companies don't want to be the first to raise prices. In the early stages of inflation, all businesses face rising costs. However, if one company raises its price first, it might lose customers to competitors who are still holding their prices steady. Therefore, companies often choose the safer strategy. Reduce the product quantity first and wait until the entire market is ready to increase prices together. In reality, many inflation crises follow a similar cycle. Step 1. Raw material costs go up. Step 2. Businesses reduce product quantity. That's shrinkflation. Step 3. Shrinkflation is no longer enough to cover the rising costs. And the final step, selling prices start to rise sharply. So let's go back to our sandwich. Initially, it's $7 with 100 grams of meat. After shrinkflation, it's still $7, but with only 70 grams of meat. A while later, the price of the sandwich increases to $8, while the amount of meat stays at 70 grams. This means you, the consumer, are hit twice. First, you get less product. Second, you pay a higher price. In short, shrinkflation often appears before price hikes because it helps businesses avoid negative customer reactions, stay flexible with fluctuating costs, reduce menu costs, and wait for the market to adjust. In other words, shrinkflation is often the first stage of an inflation cycle. So, when you see a product that's the same price but smaller, that could be the very first sign that inflation is starting to spread. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights.